Just now, Earth was completely overrun by unknown monsters. Even though you found a way to break the cycle, you couldn't change the ending. On your deathbed, you looked at the plan on the wall. Heavenly Works Inc. Sky Mothership, Ascension Platform of the 33rd Heaven. Orbital Hardships. Concept Weapons, Cannon Sword, Memory Soup. The four-beast army ascended as a whole. Frustration filled your eyes. If only you had found the solution earlier. Could you have saved things? Your wish seemed to be answered. You opened your eyes again. You're back to right before the catastrophe. Back at that highest emergency meeting. Inside the hall, over 200 experts and researchers sat quietly. Everyone looked extremely tense. Li Lan, the meeting director, stood up front, pointing at a series of photos on the big screen behind. She spoke seriously. Just yesterday, a gray shroud covered Earth's sky. An unknown voice announced to us, claiming our civilization on Earth was now part of a civilization trial. Every month, monsters will randomly appear in various countries. Their only mission is to wipe out our civilization. She paused and asked, puzzled, however. The civil affairs and military both reported back. So far, not a single monster has been spotted within China. Yesterday, that booming voice enveloped the world, officially declaring the start of the civilization trial. It shook the whole planet, including China's leaders. They made countermeasures right away. The entire country searched for signs of monsters, but found nothing. Is it possible this is a plot by other countries? A biologist frowned, raising doubts. Maybe it's all to start some conspiracy theory. They want everyone globally to panic and investigate, wasting manpower and resources. Li Lan glanced at him, her eyes sweeping over everyone, and said calmly, word by word, I can confidently tell you all. This has nothing to do with any other country. That shroud in the sky appeared out of nowhere. No warning at all. It locked the whole Earth inside. Spaceships, rockets, and any tech trying to leave Earth are all unusable now. Actually, after the voice appeared, China mobilized immediately, gathering research teams to study the shroud. They found that it's not just a background, but more like an invisible cage, completely trapping people on Earth inside. Nobody can escape. This kind of technology, no country on Earth has it. It must be from some unknown, mysterious force. After hearing Li Lan's words, everyone realized how serious the situation was. And in one corner of the conference room, you just stared blankly at everything. Your mind returned to your body. After snapping back, you quickly checked the date and time. Overjoyed, you really came back to life. Back to the day before the disaster. Back to the second day after the civilization trial started. If you remember right now, every country has made some responses. But nobody truly understands the danger. Civilization disconnected literally means only disconnected civilizations have a chance to survive. Those who don't are doomed, buried in Earth's long history. And Li Lan is the leader of China's disaster response team. Everyone, the reason I gathered you here is mainly to figure out a counter-strategy. Our enemy is unknown and mysterious, but China won't just give up. We'll fight them to the end. Li Lan spoke up again at the front. Her eyes swept over the experts and asked for suggestions. These experts are from biology, genetics, alien civilization research, aerospace research, and more. All are top researchers in the country. Right now, everyone is frowning, deep in thought. Before long, one suggestion after another came out. That voice said, every month a certain number of monsters will appear, but right now it's calm in China. Most likely, those monsters are hiding deep in the woods. I suggest we search the whole country. According to the civilization trial, those monsters all have the same ultimate goal, which is to destroy our civilization. We need to act first. Find them fast. Improve reporting channels. As soon as monster sightings appear, report and get rewarded. In the conference hall, experts worked together, offering various focused suggestions. But all focused on finding those monsters, quickly killing or controlling them, and keeping the whole country stable. But as you listened in the corner, you couldn't help but frown. This scene was exactly the same as your past life. You were also one of those experts then, taking part in the discussion, trying to figure out solutions. But as it turned out, none of the plans ever worked. The monsters weren't hiding in the mountains, but had turned into regular people. They hid inside ordinary individuals, able to disguise themselves as humans, and could infect humans in special ways, gradually taking control of top levels of society. By the time China discovered it, it was 2 weeks later. At that point, most CEOs in China, mid and lower managers, had become monsters' allies, making it way harder to root them out. Even so, China acted with incredible resolve and launched a nationwide cleanup operation. Using strong measures, they crushed all monsters in the first trial. But it was a win with heavy losses, hurting China just as much. Because of that setback, China came out badly weakened. National strength dropped sharply. Overall ability was much lower than before. Lin Moni said nothing. Is there a different opinion? Once she finished, the 200 experts in the room all stopped talking together, turning their gaze to you, being watched by so many eyes. But you stayed calm. You stood up, meeting everyone's eyes, and spoke directly, just being honest. These plans are a waste of time. They're useless for what's coming. As soon as you said this, all the experts in the room immediately showed displeasure and anger. They stared at you coldly. Someone sneered, mocking you. We're racking our brains trying to find solutions here. You do nothing at all. What gives you the right to just criticize from the side? That's what I hate the most in life. People like you, all talk, no action. Go ahead, then. Why is it our plans don't work? Just because of what you said. The atmosphere in the meeting room turned hostile in a flash. Linamo, tell us why these plans are a waste of time. Lilan was also upset, but still gave you a chance to explain. It's simple. You confidently walked up and pointed at a photo on the screen. You spoke in a low voice. The civilization trial began yesterday. Monsters already appeared all over the world. But after a whole day, no weird reports came up. Nothing's been reported. Doesn't anyone think that's odd? What's so odd about it? A sociology expert sneered. He argued, the monsters know we'd kill them all. So of course they hide deep in the wilderness. What an idiot. You shot him a look, then just ignored him. You glanced around the room and dropped a bombshell. They did hide, but they're hiding among people, passing as normal humans. They live and work just like us. As soon as you finished, the meeting room exploded. Everyone's eyes were wide open, staring at you in shock. Just thinking about it was terrifying. Your theory really scared them. Those monsters hid as humans. That's why nobody caught them. Talk is cheap. Humph, got any proof? How do you know monsters can pass as humans? Lin Mo, that's hard to believe. Lilan looked hard at you and asked you seriously, do you have any evidence? Of course. You stood up straight and scanned the crowd, all 200 experts and scholars in the room. You said flatly, today, in this meeting, one person here is actually a monster in disguise. With those words, everyone's face instantly changed. They nervously sized each other up. Shocked, suspicious, afraid. Every feeling at once. Don't listen to his nonsense. He's probably a spy from another country, just here to mess up our meeting and make us doubt each other. The sociology expert suddenly got up and yelled at you harshly. Seeing this, the tense air relaxed a bit. Compared to what you said, they'd rather believe the sociologist. But right then, you suddenly stepped forward, walking right toward the sociologist. Everyone else quickly backed away, putting distance between you and the sociology expert. Wait, is it him? Can you prove he's a monster? Thinking about his weird behavior, how he kept arguing with you earlier. He looked even more suspicious now. I'd like to see how you'll expose me as a monster, said the sociologist, standing his ground, not moving. He seemed to be waiting to see you fail. No, he's just an idiot. But you just shook your head, walked right past him, without stopping. You kept going to another corner of the room, finally stopping in front of a woman in a white coat and gold-rimmed glasses. Director Wu, can I ask where your husband and son are right now? It was just a normal question, but somehow it set her off. She glared at you with hate. Her face twisted up, and her body bent at a weird, unnatural angle. Her bones kept cracking and popping. In just 10 seconds, the human features faded away, until she became a creature with a human-like face looking up. Scales all over the skin, creeping on the ground like a monster. A violent, bloodthirsty vibe filled the air. The whole meeting room, all 200 experts and scholars there, gasped in fright. Their pupils shrank hard. They scrambled and crawled backward, hiding behind you. Especially the sociologist who kept arguing with you. He ran faster than anyone. Hey hey hey. The monster's creepy laugh echoed in the room. A killing intent filled the space right away. Guards! Lilan's face changed. She yelled for help. Not long after, 5 armed guards burst in. When they saw the monster, even they were shocked. But as soldiers, they kept their cool. They calmed down fast and opened fire on the monster. Bullets crackled everywhere, and the monster, trying to pounce forward, finally fell in a pool of blood. Damn, what even is that thing? Everyone was totally freaked out, but still moved in closer to look at the monster in the blood. until your next sentence nearly scared them to death. They jumped back and hurriedly hid behind you. Careful, it's not dead yet. Sure enough, lying in the blood, the horned monster was riddled with bullets. But it was still super strong. Its heart kept beating hard, pumping with force. Its eyes glared at everyone, full of hate and rage. Just its presence alone made your heart race and gave you chills. Lin Mo, what the heck is going on? Li Lan swallowed nervously, looking at you, confused. If you hadn't warned everyone just now, they never would have guessed Director Wu's real identity. He looked just like any human, even participated in the plan discussions. He suggested several solid, nationwide investigation plans. Thinking back now, it sends chills down your spine. He was probably taken over yesterday, after the civilization trial started, and replaced by the monster. His husband and son were likely eaten. You looked calmly at the blood-soaked monster, your expression unchanged, showing no emotion at all. Before your rebirth, you and your coworkers saw all kinds of monsters. This is nothing. It's just in your last life. Director Wu's identity was revealed much later, not until the third civilization trial. That caused huge losses for China. Many of your comrades died because of it. That's why you exposed his identity in the meeting right away. Right now, it's only eaten 2 people. So it's still weak. It's easy to take care of. If it eats 10 people and gets to the next stage, everyone here would probably be dead. Before you finish your words, over 200 experts and scholars visibly turned pale again. Evolved monsters can evolve even more. And they do it by eating people. So basically, the monsters will get even crazier. And way harder to deal with. As everyone was still shocked and scared, you continued. That's why I said, all previous plans are useless. At the start of the civilization trial, it's the best time to wipe out the monsters. Because they're still weak too. If you wait for them to grow, dealing with them later will cost 1,000 times more. You clench your fist tightly, and turn to look at Li Lan again. Looking very serious, you spoke clearly, word by word. We don't have much time left. At this point, you stopped talking. You gave everyone a moment to process. Li Lan and the other experts and scholars were all stunned by your shocking statement. They fell into deep thought. Before this, they were still doubting you. But after seeing that blood-soaked monster with a ram's head and human face, it all made sense. If it weren't for you, they'd still be fooled by the monster. Working together with the monster, sharing information, and even giving updates on key meetings. Just thinking about it makes their skin crawl. They shudder in fear. If none of those plans work, do you have a better solution? After a while, Li Lan looked up at you, her eyes focused on you, with a hint of hope in her gaze. Seeing this, you felt a bit relieved. The reason behind all this was to get Li Lan's attention and earn her trust. Your next steps have to get support from the top. You need the support of all Huaxia. And Li Lan, as the chief head of this emergency group, holds a lot of power. My plan is to set up a monster research institute. Li Lan paused for a moment, not quite getting your point, her brow slightly furrowed. You want to do scientific research on these monsters? The facts already show. These invading monsters hate human civilization deeply. They're bloodthirsty and violent, treating humans as food. So far, you're the first to suggest studying them. Yes, for these monsters, we know almost nothing. The urgent thing is to set up a research institute, so we can do a full scientific study. We need to understand their traits, find their weaknesses, and make specific weapons against them. That way, we lose fewer people. Like they say, know yourself and your enemy, and you'll always win. In my previous life, all countries eventually set up monster institutes. They just did it way too late. Huaxia started earliest, but even then, it was during the second round, when they only officially finished building it. But even being a little late meant missing the best chance. The monsters that came first ate lots of human flesh and grew strong. Analyze their weaknesses, figure out their traits, develop the right weapons. Li Lan and the others exchanged looks again, falling into deep thought once more. The monsters in the trial are only going to get scarier each round. The ones we face will keep getting stronger. So strong they'll surpass our understanding. When our tech can't keep up with them, we face extinction. Our entire civilization could be wiped out. That's total destruction. After those words, the entire room went silent. Everyone's face showed true shock. You're being way too dramatic. This sudden civilization trial is weird, sure. But no one thought humanity could go extinct. Huaxia has survived 5,000 years of history. Could it really end with us? Folks, I'm not exaggerating. Forget the far-off stuff. Each monster, once it appears, immediately wipes out the host's mind and pretends to live as a human. If they get control of key leaders. At this point, you paused and said nothing more, letting people's imagination run wild. Lilan and the others looked even paler. You're absolutely right. Monsters appear randomly. If one's inside a leader, the damage could be unimaginable. And the hardest part is? They're great at blending in, hiding in human society, seeming like regular people, making them super hard to spot. If you hadn't told them today, they'd still be clueless, literally discussing monster plans with a monster. Let's vote on Lin Mu's proposal. Lilan slowly raised her eyes and looked at everyone. Should we set up a monster research institute right now? And start research on these monsters? Everyone looks a little surprised. They exchange glances. After a brief thought, they all make up their minds. Everyone was convinced by your earlier words. They voted yes. 221 agreed. Lilan looked at the final tally. She nodded. Then I'll announce it. The Monster Research Institute is officially established. As for the first director, all the experts and scholars here turn to look at you at the same time. As the founder, no one but you is more fit to lead this institute. Lin Mo, you'll be our first director. How do you feel about that? Lilan let out a light laugh. There's expectation and respect in her eyes. In extraordinary times, we need extraordinary people. Plus, he noticed, you already seem to know something about monsters. You figured out after they appeared. They're hiding among us. It's my responsibility. I won't back down. You agreed right away. Okay, on behalf of Huaxia County, I grant you top-level clearance for the Monster Institute. For whatever the institute needs, staff, supplies, weapons, equipment, other departments will prioritize you. Your research concerns all of Huaxia's future. It affects the safety of countless people. Please find a way to identify monsters as soon as you can. Find every monster hiding in human society. And root them all out. This is what he's worried about right now. The longer monsters hide in society, the more damage they'll do. We don't have much time. The sooner we deal with monsters, the safer Huaxia will be. You can count on us. You try to hide your excitement. And nod seriously. You've finally gained the leader's trust. Not just that. Milan even made you the first director on the spot. That way, you can carry out your plans better. Last time, Huaxia held on with everything it had. Fought hard. By round 12, uniting the smartest scientific teams, they came up with the sci-fi Heavenly Court project to defeat monsters. But it was too late. The nation was already collapsing. The disaster had already peaked. In the end, it couldn't be stopped. But this time, you're in control right from the start. Now there's a real chance. After the meeting that night, all the experts and scholars present left with complicated, uneasy feelings. And the approval for the Monster Institute got processed incredibly fast. And passed every check. Thanks to Lilan's persistence. And ended up in your hands. In Yanjing, the old Science Ministry grounds were designated as the office area for the Monster Institute. Even the military sent in a battalion in charge of security and defense for the institute. No one without clearance or your say-so is allowed inside. All departments also sent their best staff, assigning them to the institute. Even the monster lying in a pool of blood was brought to the lab, locked up in a tungsten steel holding cell. In just half a day, from you as director to the regular staff, the institute team came together instantly. Director Suer reporting for duty. From now on, I'll help with your daily work and personal needs. A tall, beautiful woman in a work uniform stood respectfully before you. She used to work in the science ministry. Though she's young, she does everything quickly and sharply. Never wastes time. She's the best of the best. Lilan reassigned her here, mainly to help you and keep the institute running smoothly. You look at your new assistant, Suer, feeling a bit spaced out. In your last life, Suer was your colleague. You fought side by side. She looked delicate, but worked harder than any man. In the end, during a monster crisis, she died with a monster, trapped in a rocket explosion. Director, are you calling me? Suer paused. Not sure what you meant. That's when you snapped out of it. The figure before you and your memories blended. You smiled slightly and reached out your hand. Hi, it's great to meet you. Director Lin, the institute is now set up. What's your next order? You just shrugged, not bothered, and gave your first command. Notify all the research staff in the institute to get ready for the first monster dissection. Suer agreed and hurried out. Efficient as always. Half an hour later, on Suer's orders, the assigned scientists at the institute all gathered in a lab. The entire room was packed with scientific equipment, all transferred from other places. It's the best gear in Huaxia. Soon, a monster, tightly chained by 10 alloy locks, was carried in by 3 armed soldiers. Director, I think it's healing real fast. Are you sure you want to study it? One soldier asked in a low voice, but never took his eyes off the monster, ready to fight at any second. Don't worry, old Chen. It can't do much. You waved your hand, signaling the researchers to come forward. Put the roaring, ferocious monster onto the dissection table. Director, do you know me? The soldier who spoke was surprised. He looked at you in shock. You smiled slightly. You didn't reply. Know him? More than that. In the last life, as colleagues, you and Chen Gang fought together and killed over 100 monsters. He was a true brother. Originally, you two weren't supposed to meet until 3 months after the institute was founded. But because of your proposal, the institute was set up ahead of time. So you met early. Alright, let's start the autopsy. You snap out of your memories, take a deep breath, and step onto the dissection table first. The monster, lying in a pool of blood with a human face, saw you and began baring its teeth. It tried to attack, scaring Su'er and the others. They instinctively stepped back. Faced with this unknown monster, everyone felt nervous and scared. But you stayed calm. Slowly walked up, stopping a meter away, and picked up the scalpel with skill. You cut straight at its chest scales. A faint scratch appeared on the scales. The scalpel was razor sharp, but still couldn't break through. Record the data. Monster number 001. Nickname, The Undying. Ram head, human face. Covered in scales. Regular blades. Conventional firearms can't hurt it. Su'er snapped back to reality. He quickly grabbed his notebook and hurriedly jotted down everything you said. There was surprise flashing in his eyes. You can stay calm while dissecting such a brutal creature. Not everyone has nerves like that. Bring me the pliers. Then you suddenly spoke up. Su'er quickly handed you a pair of pliers. You took the pliers and gripped one of the creature's scales. Using nearby instruments for support, you forcefully yanked the scale. There was a crisp snap. And with that pull, the scale came off instantly. The monster screamed in pain, its body spasming uncontrollably. It stared at you with pure hatred, but you ignored it, totally unfazed, and kept talking. The Undying has incredibly tough defenses, mostly thanks to these scales. Even the weakest Undying, only big caliber rounds can really harm them. Squad 1, your job is to analyze the scales. I'll leave that to you. You said, and tossed the scale to the materials team behind you. The research group got right to work. Then you picked up a wrench, aiming at the ram horns on the monster's head. His horns are unusual too. They seem to be the source of his power. No matter how badly he's injured, as long as he doesn't die on the spot, he can recover fast. A loud crack rang out. The tool yanked hard, and the horn broke off from the monster's forehead, ripped straight from the scalp. Sharp howls and wails echoed around. Everyone watching was scared stiff. Don't show mercy to the monsters. Mercy to them is cruelty to our people. Squad 2, your job is to analyze the horns. I'll leave that to you. After giving instructions, you turned around and told all teams to hurry up. Do a full dissection and research on him. I want all of his data in 3 days. The researchers looked at each other. Nervous as they were, they still stepped forward, trembling as they got on the table. With the monster's screams ringing out, everyone started their own research. Before coming to the institute, their old bosses had talked to them. They knew how important monster research was. Plus you, as the director, led by example, showing them exactly how to dissect one. They had no reason to back out. 7 days later, Institute Director. The ram-horned monster was finally dead. Lua rushed into your office, arms full of reports, and quickly reported the latest findings. Over the last 7 days, the team dissected this creature. From every angle, inside and out, every part of its body was examined. Using the most advanced equipment, they ran all sorts of tests and analyses, and got tons of data and info about the monster. But honestly, it was pretty fragile, only lasted 7 days. Then it showed no more signs of life. Dead for good in the lab. Dead is dead. We got first-hand data on it. That's all we need. There's nothing more to learn from it. Let's make full use of the body. Turn it into a specimen for my office. Just as a memento. Su'er was stunned. Totally shocked. He started secretly checking you out. You and he are about the same age. But your tastes are wild. The experts studied it for 7 days. Rumor has it they had nightmares every night. But you want to display the corpse as a specimen and hang it in your office? Give me the files. You suddenly reached out. Toward Sewer's chest. He blushed bright red from your move. He only got what you meant a moment later. And handed you the stack of documents he was holding. All the findings from these past 7 days. Every single research result on the monster. Director, I don't really get it. Why did you call this one Monster 001, the Undying? Are you saying there'll be more in the future? Sewer looked at the documents. And finally asked the question on his mind. Right now things are calm all over Earth. A lot of people have already forgotten. The civilization trial from 7 days ago. Only once in a while. You might notice that gray shroud blocking out the stars. Hanging over the sky. Of course, this is just the beginning. Actually, right now in Huaxia, a lot of departments are unhappy. That you set up the Monster Research Institute. They think you're making a fuss over nothing. Some experts even say that Wu, the mutated monster, was just a new mutated species from Earth. Researching it isn't worth all this trouble. By the way, about the military. Did we get approval for the demon hunting team? Not yet. The military thinks they can handle the monsters. They want us to focus on research. And leave the rest to them. You frowned. Just as you expected. This institute just started. Thanks only to Leland's personal trust. Other departments don't really value it. No one takes the institute seriously. Warner, take my revised report to the cabinet. You took a deep breath. Pulled out a top-secret SSS file. And handed it to Sewer. Several elder statesmen were working in the Yen capital cabinet. Wang, it's been 7 days now. Neither we nor any other country has seen anything weird happening. Lately, the Monster Research Institute has been grabbing manpower like crazy. Resources and equipment are all getting sent there first. Other departments are starting to get fed up. Aren't you making too big a deal out of this? Maybe here in Daxia, Wu is the only case. Lilan, the monster, faced the top brass. And felt serious pressure. Frowning deeply. He was the one who vouched for this, alone. And made the Monster Research Institute happen. Giving it top clearance. Even promoting you above your rank. And making you the very first director. But for 7 days now. It's been quiet around the world. The monster thing feels like chasing shadows. Even the US and other countries haven't made any real moves. Only Huaxia seems super jumpy. Only martial arts gave birth to a monster institute. This puts Lilan in a tight spot. Just then, a security officer ran in, out of breath. Reporting, sir. The Monster Research Institute sent an SSS-class top-secret file. Everyone froze for a second when they heard that. Top-secret document. An old man from the military shook his head. He casually said they contacted me recently. They wanted to form a monster hunting squad. Probably still about this issue. He carelessly took the report, tore open the seal, and pulled out the documents. He skimmed through it. But his casual look instantly disappeared. His eyes were full of shock. What? How is this possible? The other old men exchanged glances. They could sense something was up. They walked over to the old military guy. And when they saw the report content clearly, everyone's face changed suddenly. Shocked and panicked. Terrified. The institute made a breakthrough this fast? They figured out all the monster's habits. It has strong defense, recovers fast, and is crazy tough to kill. So they named it 001, the Undying. It's got insane defense. Feeds on human flesh. The more humans it eats, the faster it levels up. The higher the rank, the stronger its defense, and the more destructive it gets. Stage 1 eats 10 people. Can reach Stage 2. Stage 2 eats 100 people. Can reach Stage 3. Stage 3 eats 1,000 people. Can reach Stage 4. At Stage 4, only a nuke can hurt it. They looked at each other. Kept swallowing hard. Their eyes couldn't hide the shock. The Research Institute is just too efficient. Only 7 days. And they got all this monster data. Fully analyzed its habits and evolution. Is this data really confirmed? The old military guy gripped the report tight. Stared hard at the guard and asked. If it's true, then the military will have to re-evaluate this monster's power. I'm not totally sure either. But Sol from the institute is waiting outside the room. The guard scratched his head. Let him in. Soon, Sol walked in nervously. He saw all these big shots. Every single one of them can change all of China with a word. But right now, they all seemed like little kids. Staring at him curiously. Is this top secret info you sent really true? The old military guy asked first. Sounding serious. His deep eyes locked onto Sol. Full of scrutiny and questioning. These materials were put together by the director and our entire team after 7 hard days. We only finished it now. All the monster data and info in the reports were tested countless times. We guarantee over 99.6% accuracy. We even managed to kill the 001 Undying after studying it. Hearing that, everyone looked a little odd. You killed the monster by studying it. Shows how extreme your whole institute is. And also proves the report is reliable and real. Guys, the situation doesn't look good. Lin Mo said, based on the model. Inside China, there are at least 50 to 100 more 001 Undyings hiding. He just flipped through the whole report fast. And spotted that conclusion. He knows for sure. You wouldn't make that call. Unless you were totally confident. The old men looked at each other again. Eyes flickering. With deep worry on their brows. Suzuki is just incredible. The institute has only existed for 7 days. But already got all this detailed monster data. The results and speed. Totally blew their minds. At the same time, it made them restless too. Deeply worried. 50 to 100 of the 001 Undying, hidden among China's 1.4 billion people, will just keep eating humans. To get stronger. Even though the report says, each time the monster eats someone, it needs time to digest. Once it reaches stage 3 or 4, its defense gets way stronger. And only a nuke can hurt it. Leaders, there's no need to worry. Just then, Su'er, who came to report, gathered his courage and spoke up. Before I came, the director told me. We discovered the monster first. Every second counts. For now, the advantage is ours. 001 Undead is still weak right now. They're all trying hard to hide their identities. They don't dare eat people out in the open. All we need to do is hold a press briefing. Explain the monster's habits to the public. Share key safety tips. Warn people about monster attacks. If anyone notices anything weird, report it right away. This way, most disguised monsters can be caught. When everyone heard that, their eyes lit up. Smiles broke out instantly. You're absolutely right. The monsters that appeared in Huaxia are only at level 1 now. They're still really weak. As long as folks keep an eye out and stay alert, and quickly report anything unusual, we'll be able to find them. Unless they stop eating people. But if they don't, they can't level up or grow stronger. That's pretty much impossible. So, the advantage is definitely on our side. Lao Wang, your judgment was right this time. Lin Mo totally deserves to be director of the hospital. An elder turned to Li Lan, full of emotion. You could see admiration and approval in his eyes. The other elders all nodded in agreement. Without your research report, they would have known nothing about the monsters. We'd all be in the dark. Completely clueless. Forget about making the right call or response. I move to raise the Research Institute's priority and benefits even higher. We can bump them up some more. Agreed, I agree too. As for the press conference, let the Monster Research Institute handle it. Let the pros do what they do best. Also, we need to upgrade Director Lin Mo's protection. If the 001 Undead finds out, they might try to go after Director Lin Mo. Right now, both the Institute and Director Lin Mo are crucial for Huaxia. I second that, absolutely. The elders quickly reached an agreement. And made a series of decisions. The elder from the military waved his hand decisively. On a document that had been pending forever, he signed his name. And wrote his orders. Pulling the best troops from every military district. And sending them to report at the Monster Research Institute. Form a demon hunting squad. They'll follow Director Lin Mo's orders unconditionally. At the Institute office. What? You want me to be a streamer? Su'er's eyes went wide. Pointing at her own nose. Completely stunned. She'd just gotten back from the cabinet. Came to report into you. And you just gave her a new assignment. I'm planning to set up a live stream on our institute's official site. Open a channel. So we can explain what's special about 001, the undead, to everyone. And talk about how to deal with them. You look great. Your appearance is top-notch. It'd really be a waste if you're not hosting. You're pretty handsome yourself. So why don't you stream? Have you ever seen a boss do a live stream? Stream starts at 2 p.m. Go change outfits. Don't dress so sharp. Go for the girl next door look. It's for work. Su'er glanced at her work uniform. Feeling like you definitely had ulterior motives. But had no proof. That afternoon, Su'er wore casual clothes as usual. And walked into the streaming studio. Ditching her usual sharp outfit. Now she really looked like the sweet girl next door. Gazing at the all-set streaming gear, she nervously sat down in front of the camera. It was her first time as a streamer, so she felt super unsure. But as soon as she heard your voice, she calmed herself down. And got to work. Looking at the lens, she flashed a sweet smile. Hello, everyone. I'm Su'er from the Monster Research Institute. Starting today, our institute will be here to answer your questions live. We'll respond to anything monster-related. After a simple intro, she realized the stream was weirdly quiet. Hardly anyone was watching. Not a single comment in the chat. She looked miserable at the director, glancing over to you across the table, staring at your phone. No rush, I've already contacted all the main departments. This afternoon, all the traffic online will get redirected to our live stream. Before the stream, you even reached out to the cabinet and got special privileges. Number of viewers won't be an issue at all. Meanwhile, on Mobo, the country's largest blogging site, a pinned announcement instantly took the top spot from a celebrity trending topic, showing up in the most eye-catching spot. It's titled "The Rise and Fall of the Nation. Everyone's Responsibility." That kind of explosive title instantly grabbed the attention of tons of users. A lot of them clicked the announcement and were surprised to get redirected straight to an external livestream page. What popped up before them was a sweet, pretty girl hosting a live stream. She claimed she worked for the Monster Research Institute or something. Hacker invasion? What's going on? Did Mobo just get totally owned? Where's the tech team? Monster Research Institute? What kind of agency is that? Never heard of it before. Gotta admit, this girl's really gorgeous. If she married me, I'd be down to live in a mansion every day. Bro, you never miss out on a good deal, huh? Not even a little. In the chat room, the once empty screen was suddenly flooded with comments, covering the whole feed, and packed tight. The viewer count shot up over 10,000 in seconds. At the same time, on the biggest short video platform in the country, every user who opened the app got pushed the same exact clip. On screen, there was just a face peering up, the body covered in scales like a monster, staring back menacingly. It made people shiver inside and gave them goosebumps. Right after, before anyone could react, they'd get redirected straight to an external stream. Damn, that monster video was a prank? Scared the hell out of me. Monster Research Institute? What kind of agency is that? Hey there, beautiful. Can you show us a talent performance? Can you do a split? Bro, I'll pay for your in-game boat. This streamer is just stunning. Better looking than a celebrity. Even after that monster video jump scare, her looks had everyone sticking around. Nobody wanted to leave the stream, and everyone dove into the live chat. Pretty much at the same time, every internet platform in the country got instructions from the authorities, telling them to pin the Monster Research Institute stream link. Anyone who's a user there would get sent to the Monster Research Institute's live room. Meanwhile, all the regional TV stations are broadcasting live simultaneously. Even those elderly people who can't use smartphones can watch this broadcast on TV. You could say this broadcast covers all of Huaxia. It reaches everyone and everywhere with internet access. It's truly unprecedented. The live room has hit 80 million viewers. Suer watched the viewer count skyrocket. He couldn't help but swallow hard. He thought it'd just be a small broadcast. Never imagined the director would turn it into such a big deal. Now the pressure on him is huge. This broadcast can't have any slip-ups. Let's get started with the science talk. But you stay calm as usual. You nod at him. Each month, the civilization trials will start a new round. And everyone will keep coming across all kinds of monsters in the future. We need to get everyone mentally prepared. Hey everyone. I'm Suer from the Monster Research Institute. Like its name suggests, our institute is set up specifically to study monsters. I'm sure you all remember. 8 days ago, a gray mist suddenly appeared over Earth. And it's still here. We can tell you very responsibly. Civilizations around the world are now going through a harsh trial, called the Civilization Trials. It's brutal. Civilizations that fail will be wiped out. Their traces lost forever in history. In front of 80 million viewers, Nur dropped a bombshell. He just laid out the truth. He revealed the secret behind the Civilization Trials. In an instant, the chat exploded. Messages flooded the screen non-stop. The chat was completely packed. You couldn't read anything viewers said. Right now, the world is facing the first round of the Civilization Trials. An unknown number of strange monsters have already appeared in our country. They're disguised as regular people. Hidden among us. They could be your dad, your son, your wife, or your daughter. They feed on humans. They're full of bloodlust and violence. If you notice someone acting odd around you, call the 12111 hotline right away. Reach out to the Monster Research Institute. As soon as he finished talking, viewers across Huaxia went wild. What does that mean? Their family, friends, or coworkers nearby could actually be monsters in disguise. A lot of people just couldn't accept this truth all at once. That's insane. Everyone watching the stream instinctively glanced at the people next to them. Their mouths twitched a bit. They couldn't fully believe Suer. If it weren't for the national backing behind the institute, they would have thought this was a prank. Don't jump to conclusions, everyone. Our institute published the monster guidelines. They'll help you stay safe at home and work, and protect yourself, and help you spot disguised monsters. These rules will be cycled in the live stream. Make sure you remember them. Rule 1: Monsters won't expose themselves in public. Never isolate yourself from crowds. Rule 2: If you notice someone acting strange, don't freak out. Contact the police right away, and ask for their help. Rule 3: Never trust anyone easily, even if they're your parents. Rule 4: If someone around you goes missing, don't say anything out loud. Just call the police quietly. They might have already met something tragic. Rule 5: After 10 p.m., monsters get the most hungry. Do not go out alone at night. Rule 6: If your coworker has red at the corner of their mouth, that's probably not ketchup. It's likely from your other coworker. As more and more rules were announced, viewers slowly started to realize this wasn't a joke. Every rule sounded seriously creepy. Did someone around them really get replaced by a monster? Monsters disguised as regular people, living and eating with everyone else, just to secretly eat them after. Streamer, you're scaring the hell out of us. It all sounds way too real. Are monsters really disguised and living among us? That's it, I'm doomed. I won't be able to sleep tonight. I sleep in the staff dorm now, and I just want to move out ASAP. After hearing the monster guidelines, everyone looks like a monster to me. The rules already said it. Don't leave crowds. And monsters won't easily expose themselves. In the live stream, the number of viewers quietly topped 100 million. That's a real viewer count, not some platform faking numbers. Basically everyone online is watching now. This hit the public like a mental shockwave. Monsters are actually here, and they're hiding among us. A little slip, and you could be their next meal. End up as monster food. The rules said it. When regular people face monsters, the difference in strength is like a regular boxer taking on Mike Tyson. Fighting back just makes them more excited. Panic, fear, worry, and despair are all piling up inside everyone. Don't be too pessimistic. If you spot anything strange, report it to the 12111 hotline right away. Trust Huaxia. Trust the Monster Research Institute. We'll do everything we can to protect everyone's lives and property. As soon as those words were said, viewers in the stream froze up for a second. Then tons of calls came flooding in, jamming the Institute's hotline. Director, there's a problem. The hotline's blown up. A staff member rushed into the studio. Fuer reported next to you. Expand the county, add more lines, get more operators in now, and keep the hotline open 24/7. This means the broadcast worked. People now understand the monster threat. With 1.4 billion people reporting, the monsters in the country won't stay hidden for long, unless they haven't eaten anybody, or committed a crime in the past 8 days. But that's nearly impossible. Across the ocean, the U.S. Department of Defense heard about the live stream. It caused a stir there too. All the internet traffic in Huaxia flooded into this live room. James stared at Suer on his screen. His mouth twitched a few times. He couldn't help but scoff. Daxia must be crazy. They really believe monsters are disguised as regular people? And they're spreading panic to the public, even making up so-called monster guidelines, just to make sure people are scared. They want the public worried on purpose, and try to stir up panic everywhere. They're just looking to cause chaos. Remember, Daxia has 1.4 billion people. If this goes on, even without the monster stepping in, Daxia will tear itself apart. Sir, we've been investigating in America for a week. We only got one blurry photo of the monster. Found nothing else. Could Daxia's theory be right? One of James's assistants suddenly spoke up, clearly worried. James frowned at that. He shook his head after a pause. No way, that's impossible. What monster could pretend to be human? And even live among us? Even though they've never found the monster, they never considered the monster could disguise itself as a human. That thought just never crossed their minds. Way too far-fetched. A monster that can blend in as a normal person must be pretty smart. Earth has evolved for so long, yet only humans developed real intelligence. Keep searching, tell defense. That thing is hiding somewhere for sure. James's eyes flashed coldly. He shot down his assistant's theory. Foreign water pipe, the world's biggest video platform. The live stream from the Daxia Monster Research Institute was also re-uploaded and synced here by someone. It instantly sparked heated debate all over the country. Viewership went through the roof. Ha ha ha, what a joke. My family and friends are monsters? I'm seriously curious. How did he manage to read those monster rules with a straight face and not crack up? I thought Dacia had 9 years of mandatory school. How are there so many folks this clueless? Monster Research Institute. What a joke. Most people online just scoffed at Sewell's monster rules. Nobody really believes monsters are hiding among us and blending into human society. As for the Monster Research Institute, it's become a hot topic because of this live broadcast. It's a global laughingstock now. Lots of people are roasting Dacia for being ridiculous. Can't believe they made such an institute. 8 days ago, Earth really did get pulled into a gray haze. But no one was sure if monsters actually appeared. What if it's just some country's prank? Only Dacia is this paranoid. They even set it up at lightning speed. A Monster Research Institute popped up. People just can't figure it out. Other than stirring panic and scaring everyone, what else can it do? Dacia Tianjin Monster Research Institute. During the broadcast, the monster hotline's been flooded. Dozens of calls are coming in every minute. You had to hire 100 extra operators for this. They're handling monster reports from all over the country. Is this the Monster Research Hotline? I just watched the live stream. I think my roommate's got issues. Last night, I saw meat stuck in his teeth. He told me he ate hot pot with my girlfriend. No way. There's no chance my girlfriend would go with him. Hello, sir. Maybe your girlfriend's in love. Hey there. I want to report something. I suspect my coworker's a monster in disguise. I lent him 3,000 yuan 2 days ago. He's still stalling on paying me back. He wasn't like this before. Hello, sir. Please don't slander monsters. Monsters only eat people. They never borrow money. Hello, police? Come help, quick. I'm in a bathroom stall at work. I heard a man's voice in here. Could it be a monster? Operators patiently help out. They listen carefully to every call. All tips from viewers are recorded. Thousands of clues were soon collected. But most of them are just wild guesses from viewers. Nothing to do with monsters. Director, a college student reported. He saw a monster with a sheep's head. It ate his roommate. He's hiding in his dorm closet right now. Suddenly an operator hangs up the phone and rushes over to you. They hand you a key clue. Location details. Your pupils shrink. You ask in a low voice. Where? It's at the Polytechnic University near Yanjing. Demon Hunter Squad. Prepare to move out. You make a quick decision. You give the order. After top-level approval, elite troops from the military have started arriving at the institute. You assign 300 people to the Demon Hunter Squad. Chen Gang is the squad leader. But Chen Gang looks troubled. He's a bit hesitant. The squad is brand new. No training or teamwork yet. Doesn't matter, real combat is the best way to train. Yes, Director. Chen Gang paused, but quickly snapped into action. He saluted you, turned and left. 300 young soldiers gathered before you. Demon Hunter Squad. Should be 300 people. Actually 300 people here. All 300 stand tall. Their eyes sharp like eagles. Each is from a military district. They're the best of the best. Expert in all combat skills. This mission is very dangerous. Also, I'll livestream the whole thing. If you're scared or embarrassed, you can step out now. As soon as you finish, all 300 are embarrassed. Eyes red, staring at you. Like it's a huge insult to them. They see it as a big shame. Since the moment they joined up, they've always put life and death aside. Protecting the country is their life's belief. Dying in battle means the highest honor for them. You guys aren't afraid of dying. All 300 respond together. Their voice is super loud. They roar back at you. It's like the sound of a tsunami. Good, move out. Yenji Polytechnic University. Yenji Polytechnic University. The gate guard looks confused at your sudden arrival. Fully armed. You and your team with guns ready? Scared him so much. He almost called the cops right away. Urgent notice. Monster Research Institute. We're taking over your school now. Chen Gang steps up and shows his ID. Then leads the squad straight through the gate. They're headed right for the dorm building. Sewer is handling the live broadcast, streaming everything to the viewers. The live stream chat blew up instantly. What's happening? Why are they suddenly at my school? What's the squad's real name? Think they found signs of a monster. Is this Demon Hunter Squad a team just for hunting monsters? Wow, the gear's so high-end. Must be real guns. Viewers are shocked. It's action-packed the whole time. Everybody's glued to the screens. With Chen Gang leading, the squad quickly locked onto a dorm building. They called out all the students inside. They're gathered outside the dorm. Over 1,000 people in total. All the students look lost, staring at the armed Chen Gang and his team. No clue what's going on. Who made the call? You step forward and ask loudly. I did. I saw the monster. It ate my roommate. A pale college student steps forward, nervously looking around. Watches everyone cautiously. Very defensive. Afraid they'll turn into monsters all of a sudden. You don't know who the monster is. You frown. Feels tricky to deal with. There are over 1,000 students in this building. The monster's obviously disguised among them. Finding it won't be easy. The sci-fi celestial court needs to be launched soon. You sigh to yourself. Mutter under your breath. The sci-fi celestial court was a plan from old China before it collapsed. Created by all of China. To deal with the crisis. It has many functions. Can suppress monsters and seal weird stuff. And spot monster identities. That's just a small feature. But right now, you have to use primitive methods. And check for monsters manually. Everyone, check your identity. You wave your hand. And start a full check of all the students. On the open square. According to the reporter. He saw the monster eat his roommate 2 hours ago. 2 hours ago. Obviously. After the squad arrived, the monster disguised again. And blended in with these students. Hidden among them now. 2 hours later. After rounds of cross-checking. All the students at the scene. Have had their identities verified by the squad. But, Director. Everyone's been checked. Chen Gang walked up to you. He shook his head. They didn't find anything weird on them. They're probably not monsters in disguise. During this round of questioning, they followed your monster code to the letter. No issues turned up in the screening. No one showed any signs of being a disguised monster. There's one person left. But you shook your head. A golden light flashed in your eyes. We already checked everyone. Chen Gang froze for a second. He looked at the people in the open area. The 300 hunter squad surrounded everyone. They checked each person and looked them over. He was sure no one got away. Except the dorm manager. You guys haven't checked him. With that, you turned around. Your gaze swept through the crowd. You locked eyes on a middle-aged man watching nearby. Huang Zilong, you're the dorm manager here. In the past 3 hours, where have you been? Before you finished speaking, Chen Gang and the others' faces changed suddenly. They instinctively raised their weapons. And aimed at this plain-looking middle-aged man. Are you guys serious? The man looked totally clueless. He nervously swallowed. Tens of millions are watching the stream. And chat just exploded. He turned out to be the monster? He doesn't look like a monster at all. Man, I've been in this stream for 2 hours. I just want to see the monster. And this is what I get? If he's a monster, I'll jump from the 18th floor. Chat is going wild. Everyone thinks you're making stuff up. Just trying to get through this awkward scene. And this dorm manager's super average. He'd blend right into a crowd. Nothing stands out about him. He doesn't look like a monster at all. Monster Code, Rule 7. When number 001, the Undying, disguises himself, he can't hide the horns on his head completely. Can you take off your cap? You glanced at the chat. You calmly looked at the dorm manager. You pointed at his baseball cap. A smirk appeared on your lips. Can you take off your hat? The dorm manager stared at you. A golden flash in his eyes. And suddenly, a wave of killing intent filled the air. Monster Code, Rule 10, after eating someone, a monster's belly turns bright red. And stays like that for 24 hours. Dare to take off your shirt? You ignored him. And spoke to yourself. Monster Code, Rule 14, monsters can perfectly disguise themselves. But their weight never changes. Here's a scale. Facing the live stream. You spoke confidently. Using the monster code, you exposed the dorm manager over and over. Right in public. That's enough, finally. The dorm manager shouted. He cut you off. He suddenly ripped off his shirt. Exposing a blood-red belly. His human body instantly twisted and changed shape. In seconds, he transformed. He showed his true form. A four-legged, horned monster crawled on the ground. Staring menacingly at you. He sneered, "You know my kind well, huh?" A wave of killing intent filled the air. It felt almost real, everyone was on alert. Chen Gang quickly shouted. He jumped right in front of you. The authorities gave a death order. Your safety is the top priority for Huaxia. Anyone else can die. But you can't even get a scratch. The other students on the ground were freaked out watching the monster transform. They screamed in terror. Faces totally pale. The whole scene got really chaotic. The hunter team started the monster hunt. But you stayed calm as ever. You gave battle orders in a deep voice. Chen Gang glanced over. You wiped sweat off your forehead. It was intense, facing the monster so close. He felt really anxious inside. So tense. But you, director, stayed super chill. Didn't even blink. Hunter team. Follow my orders. Tactic 1. Aim for the monster's horns. Chen Gang took a deep breath. He led the charge. He opened fire first. Trying to kill the monster before it could act. Take it out first. Tactic 1 was what you told him. Aimed right at 001's weakness. Avoid that tough skin. And go straight for the horns. Research showed. The horns are the source of the Undying's power. Wow, you even found out our weak spot? I can't let you live. Number 001, the Undying, roared in anger. He let out another angry scream. He grinned and charged at you. Rat-tat-tat. The hunter squad opened heavy fire. A rain of bullets pinned down 001, the Undying. Round after round. Hit his scaled body. The scales blocked them all. No real damage done. That defense level means he already ate at least 5 people. You stared at the monster. A chill running down your spine. Your killing intent showed. At the same time, thanks to HD streaming, everyone saw the fight outside the dorm. Clear as day. Millions watched online. The monster revealed itself. Fighting the hunter squad. Everything happened in a flash. It broke everything they thought they knew. Changed their whole view of the world. Monsters really exist. Now, no one doubted you anymore. Monsters are hiding among humans. Right next to them. Feeding on their own kind. Not even bullets work on them. Monster code. Better memorize the monster code now. The director just used it. To spot the monster. From now on, anyone with a hat gets shot on sight. That monster's brutal. I don't even dare look straight at him. Respect to the hunter squad. And even more to Director Lin. He just questioned the monster. Standing only about 10 feet away. Chat's blowing up. Everyone's shocked and can't believe this. People really respect you now. Thinking back. If it were them, and they knew the monster's identity, they'd run as far away as possible. But you stepped up and stood 3 meters from the monster. That kind of courage is rare. You gotta win. Watching the intense battle on screen, viewers in the stream couldn't help but feel nervous and worried. 300 hunters, with all that firepower, could barely keep up with this monster. People realized how strong monsters are. It really hit home. If normal people meet a monster, they're just food. Even Tyson wouldn't survive. Fear, panic, confusion. All kinds of emotions flooded in. Is this the end for humanity? Right at that moment, the camera suddenly shifts. It focuses on you, commanding on sight. You're seen standing solo at the back, constantly making tactical adjustments, correcting Chen Gang and the others' battle tactics. It looks like a normal scene, but it fires up everyone's hearts. A feeling called security surges in their minds. With Dean Lin here, we can't lose. Someone posted a comment. The live stream blew up completely. Endless comments flooded in. All saying Dean Lin. We can't lose. Millions in the live stream are repeating it. Repeating the same words over and over. Outside the Yanjiao Tech dorms. Half an hour later. Intense gunfire finally calmed down. Report. Chen Gang covers his injured right arm and walks up to you. The Demon Hunter team finished the mission. Target 001, no. The subject has totally lost combat ability. Behind him. That arrogant, horn-faced monster that tried to kill you is now lying in a pool of blood. Still ferocious. But one horn is broken off. Completely snapped. Its scales were pierced several times by large caliber bullets. And lost all fighting strength. But the Demon Hunter team isn't doing well either. Including him. Over 100 wounded. 2 seriously injured. And that's with your tactical guidance. Without your help, casualties would have been much worse. Basically, in this battle, they didn't lose. But didn't really win either. Take him back to the research institute. You wave your hand. Feeling heavy too. The Demon Hunter team are elite soldiers. But lack teamwork. And aren't familiar with fighting monsters. So tactical training needs to speed up. Monsters will only get stronger. Not much time left for the team. Dean's livestream now has over 100 million viewers. Sewer, pale-faced, steps forward. Forcefully reports despite feeling unwell. Your brows twitch. You look deeply at your beautiful assistant. During this operation, Sewer stayed close to you, handling live broadcast duties. Her first time seeing a monster's brutality. And the brutal battle. Yet she still stands to report. No wonder, back when the City Research Institute was destroyed, she chose to die with the monsters. But not this time. You won't let monsters have any chance. No threat to China. As the battle ended in the live stream, the viewers finally relaxed. Comments fill the whole screen. The Research Institute is awesome. Dean Lin, I'm your die-hard fan now. That monster was tough. Took so much heavy firepower. And still didn't die on the spot. What's the female host's name? Guys, I really like this. You like everything. After the monster reveal, people finally started to relax. Because of this event, the Monster Research Institute, and your name became known everywhere. A total sensation. The monster protocol was even printed by viewers. Recited completely. Many started copying you. Using the monster protocol to identify monsters. Still scared of monsters. But thinking of you. Thinking of the research institute. They feel confident. They're not fighting alone. China is always protecting them. Across the ocean. U.S. Department of Defense. Monsters really can disguise as humans. Johnson's eyes widen. Shocked by the live stream on his computer. In the feed. China's Monster Institute locked down a college. Caught a monster disguised as a dorm admin. Quickly subdued it on the spot. Knocked it out. Everything fully transparent. The battle was intense and wild. Monsters are so strong. They took hits from 300. Fully armed elite soldiers. No way. I gotta hurry and report this to James. He grits his teeth and jumps up. China already seems to have known about monster disguises. And did all the necessary research. They even studied monster habits inside out. But the US knows nothing about them. He rushes to the office of the head of the Department of Defense. James's office. He opens the door. Looking totally anxious. Can't wait to say, James. We were wrong. Really wrong. Just about to mention the China issue. He suddenly stops. Notices on the desk. There's a full copy of the monster protocol. He lets out a breath. So you watch the China live stream too? China is way ahead of us. Especially that Suzuki from the Monster Institute. His vision is so advanced. Set up the institute fast. And got amazing results. Too bad such talent isn't from the US. We gotta learn from them. Finished reading the monster protocol after the live stream. He clearly sees the problem. And rates you super highly. Wants to convince James to promote the monster protocol countrywide. But James just waves him off. Smirks slightly. With a mysterious smile. Johnson, close the door first. Johnson's stunned again. But does as told. Closes the office door. But as he turns around. He sees something unforgettable. James's body twists 270 degrees. Huge scales grow out. He transforms into a violent monster. And lunges at him, mouth wide open. YouTube, world's largest video platform. China's live stream was uploaded by attentive folks. Shared here. Caused a huge uproar. Like a major earthquake. At first, about China's Monster Institute. And the monster protocol, people laughed it off. But now everyone's shocked. Someone actually turned into a monster. Not just monsters disguising as humans. What are these monsters anyway? They can even talk like people. Do they have human intelligence? Is the end of the world here? Are there monsters hiding around me too? Faced with cold facts. Netizens worldwide know they were wrong. Time. A wave of fear spreads among nations. China wasn't lying. These monsters really showed up among regular people. Perfect disguise. Living and working with us. Who knows? Their parents, relatives, and lovers are actually monsters in disguise. Just thinking about it. It sends chills down their spines. They don't even dare to leave their homes. More and more people start tagging their countries online. Taiwan, the US, and China have all set up monster research institutes. They've already come up with monster handling rules. What are you guys doing? I don't want to die. I'm still young. I really don't want to die. Come on, Sakura country, hurry up and drag those monsters out. Why are you all silent now? Monsters are masters of disguise. They eat humans. They're savage and brutal. No one knows what they'll do next. They've scared people everywhere nearly to death. Fear hangs over every country now. The dorm manager at the Monster Research Institute lab was tied tightly with alloy chains. Locked onto the experiment table. Standing next to him is you. Along with a group of researchers in white lab coats. You've finally caught the second monster. Your eyes are shining. Your heart racing. In your last life, the tower faced 12 rounds of trials. Before total destruction. Some scientists already found a sliver of hope in those trials. Every monster has incredible powers. All with supernatural abilities. They seem unstoppable. But once a monster dies, they drop strange items from their bodies. By analyzing and studying them, you can unlock all kinds of futuristic tech. For example, Monster 001, the Undying. His power comes from his horns. Once he dies, the horns just fall off. But the thing is, the monster on the table thrashes like crazy, grinning wildly at everyone. Even when badly hurt, it's still full of energy. Violent energy fills the air. It roars violently. Pathetic humans. This trial has just begun. Destruction is your only fate. Everyone steps back in fear, shaken by the monster's frenzy. Only you stay put, glaring coldly at the monster. You say slowly and clearly, "Not this time. In the last life, countless people went forward, sacrificed their lives, just to keep civilization going. Maybe it was the willpower of all the Chinese people that gave you this second chance. Now, you can plan ahead and start the ultimate plan from your past life. Phase 2 of monster research begins. You take a deep breath and lead the way to the monster's side. You grab the scalpel and start the dissection without a word. No matter how much the monster screams or threatens, you don't flinch. Seeing this, the fear in the others fades a lot. To hell with it. I heard you ate 5 people. If we don't skin you today, I'll take your last name. The first one to step up is a middle-aged medical researcher. He's holding a thick syringe, swearing as he walks over to the monster. He goes for an exposed scale and jabs the needle deep into the main artery. Everyone, take it slow. His skin under the scales is super tough, like it's made of some new material. Better take the whole thing, scalp and all. Don't damage it. A material science professor cuts in, looking anxious. Those horns are really special too. Seems like they keep sending out weird signals. He adds, take the whole skull with the horns. His hair's waterproof and fireproof. Super warm, too. These are top talents pulled from all over the country. Best in their fields. With the fear gone, everyone focuses on a different part of the monster. You could say these monsters with supernatural powers are treasures from head to toe. They're crazy valuable for research. But the main reason why is still the monster running its mouth. It even said the tower is doomed, pissing everyone off. In the lab, the monster's screams and howls suddenly fill the air. Pathetic humans. How dare you treat me like this? I'll tear you all apart. It screams in pain, threatening nonstop. But it's useless. It just makes the researchers more excited. Outside the lab, the director says, research has started inside. Sol nervously swallows, staring in shock as you walk out of the lab. Even standing outside the door, he can hear the agonizing screams and cries. Man, that's brutal. He wonders what the monster's going through in there. The torture must be insane. You, Old Chen, nod in response. Then ask. After coming back from Tech University, you put together a research team and hit the lab right away. Captain Chen took his team to train. Even the wounded went. I couldn't stop them. Maybe you could go talk to them? After the battle, almost everyone in the demon hunting team got hurt. But after getting back to the institute, they just patched themselves up, then rushed off to train again. Here's what I put together. A strategy for taking down Monster 001, the Undying. You head to your office, pull out a plan, and hand it to Sol. You tell him, take this, and give it to Old Chen. Tell him to train by this plan. Sol's eyes go wide. He thought you'd try to talk Chen Gang and the others out of it. But instead you hand over a training plan. You're hardcore. Don't drag it out, we're out of time. You sigh softly, and say seriously. The first trial's already been going for 8 days. Among the monsters that arrived, there must be second-level ones now. We gotta boost the demon hunting team's power fast. Hearing that, Sol shivers. He instantly thinks of that top-secret file. Monsters level up by eating humans. Even though each one eaten takes 24 hours to digest, the stronger they get, the faster they digest. And if they eat just 10 people, they can hit level 2. Which means their power totally changes. Defense, strength, speed, healing, life force. All get scarier. No wonder Chen Gang and the director are so anxious. With the demon hunter's current strength, any level 2 monster, especially the Undying, would wipe them out. Total annihilation. Don't worry, director. I'm on it. Sol takes the training plan and hurries toward the training field. At the same time, since the monster incident at Tech University, governments everywhere realized how serious things were. They started copying China's moves, going all out. If Daxia set up a monster institute, they set up a monster institute too. If Daxia created a monster hunting team, they formed monster teams as well. Even the monster rulebook got printed in different languages and spread like wildfire across the globe. Before anyone knew it, your rulebook became the top bestseller in the world. No contest. Long story short, whatever Daxia did, other countries followed right away. And with people everywhere watching, monster sightings started popping up more and more. More and more folks caught monsters on camera. Horns, human faces, scales on their body, walking on all fours. Brutal and savage. Monster attacks are happening more often. Invisible fear covers every country. The first to crack are small countries. They lack both the power and authority to fight back. Monsters are only getting bolder, not even hiding anymore. Now, they're showing up openly, hunting humans. Just to power up. Suddenly, countries all around the world are in turmoil. Tube, the world's biggest video platform. As monsters keep showing up more often, netizens everywhere are uploading more and more videos of monster attacks, with humans as their prey. My neighbor got attacked by a monster yesterday. Half of his body was eaten. Oh my god. This monster with ram horns got sprayed with machine gun fire. And still survived, bouncing around. I heard people in Huaxia say monsters get stronger by eating humans. Is the apocalypse really coming? Bold prediction, human civilization will be wiped out within a year. Who's behind this damn civilization trial? I don't want to take part in this trial. Each of these videos has sparked worldwide discussions. Most people have a pessimistic outlook about this civilization trial. Super negative. And this is only the first round. Apparently, there will be new monsters showing up every month. Humanity will probably be wiped out by these alien monsters. Utterly destroyed. Apocalypse theories are everywhere now. They're getting worse. All kinds of chaos are happening all over the world. Riots, looting, and arson are becoming more frequent. Order is quietly crumbling. While global order collapses, Huaxia is thrown into chaos, yet seems strangely out of place. The horror of monsters hangs over this land too. But people aren't as pessimistic as expected. Every city across the country is still brightly lit. Order is maintained. Law and order are just like before. And all of this started from your live stream of Tianjiao Polytechnic's monster suppression operation. You showed them with your actions. That Huaxia is quietly working behind the scenes, doing everything it can to protect everyone. We all have to trust our country. The monsters are scary, but we'll make it through. I've sent the monster safety manual to my whole family. If anyone spots a monster, report it immediately. Never give monsters time to develop. Our ancestors said the rise and fall of a nation is everyone's responsibility. With the monster disaster, no one can stay out of it. We must all do our part. Everyone needs to protect themselves first. Don't make trouble for the country. Online, Huaxia's people are supporting each other, encouraging one another. The disaster is scary, but quietly, it's waking something deep inside them. Everyone is silently memorizing the monster safety manual, trying to recognize monsters and report them to the Monster Research Institute. Following the manual's guidance, they stick together with trusted people, never alone, and never giving monsters a chance to strike solo. Huaxia is now more united than ever, cooperating with the Monster Research Institute, following instructions. If anything feels off, they immediately call the hotline for help. Everyone knows that in this crisis, as long as they don't act recklessly, they're helping Huaxia the most. Latest update. A monster was spotted in a residential building in Modu. Monster traces discovered in an apartment building. Suddenly, a user posted a message, which caught a lot of attention. Driven by curiosity, lots of people immediately logged onto the Monster Research Institute official site and poured into the live stream. Sure enough, they saw Sewer sitting in front of the camera, reporting the latest monster progress. Breaking emergency news. We've received a reliable report. Someone in Modu spotted a monster in an apartment building. A 001 undying was discovered. Local military has taken action. The apartment building has been sealed off. Our monster hunting team is now on the way. All residents near Modu, please stay safe. Stay home unless absolutely necessary. Be patient and wait for rescue. The Monster Research Institute is always here for you. Her calming voice quietly spreads, gentle yet steady, soothing the restless crowd. And from time to time, she answers live stream questions asked by viewers, helping ease everyone's nerves. 3 hours later, Monster Research Institute in Yanjing, mission accomplished. Chen Gang called you right after the battle ended to make his report, looking pretty excited. Director, we followed your tactics. Nobody got hurt this time. We captured this 001 undying perfectly. Different from the first battle. This time, they only sent a team of 30 people and managed to capture the monster successfully. Not a single casualty on our side. Remember last time at Yanjiao Polytechnic, even he got injured. And it was then he realized how brutal monsters are. So after returning to the institute, he led the hunting team to train day and night. The training method came from you, of course. Each squad now has 3 heavy sniper operators, specializing in targeting the 001 undying's ram horns, with the rest providing support and blocking to counter the 001 undying's movement and fight back. By working together, they got such amazing results this time. Glad nobody got hurt. You cracked a smile. This tactic was created at the cost of countless warriors' blood in your previous life, and finally perfected. It's perfect for dealing with early stage 001 undying attacks. Warner, go report the battle results. Then you turned around and looked over at Sewer beside you. Now, besides being your assistant, Sewer is also the nation's top streamer, hosting daily shows to answer all kinds of questions for Huaxia's citizens, calming everyone down and easing nationwide anxiety. Having witnessed civilization's extinction once, you deeply know. For a civilization, for a people, what matters most? National confidence and unity. If fear spreads across Huaxia, it won't be long before people's hearts fall apart. Time slowly goes by. With daily science broadcasts in the live stream, Huaxia's people gradually accept the civilization trial and the reality of monsters. The fear blanketing the land has faded a lot. The monster hunting team is the busiest department now. Whenever monsters show up, they head out immediately, travel across the country to suppress monsters themselves. By learning from each battle, their teamwork gets tighter, and their combat efficiency keeps rising. More and more 001 undying are caught and shipped off to the institute. Naturally, these undying end up in labs, where the research team uses them to the max, studying them in detail. What's worth noting is, the research team, influenced by you, has turned their methods brutal and extreme. The 001 undying usually lasts at most half a day, before finally dying amid horrific screaming. Hey viewers in the recording room. That's it for today's live stream Q&A. Noor smiled at the camera and spoke. If anyone sees any monsters, make sure to call the Institute hotline right away. With that, he ignored the pleading comments and ended the live stream recording. He stretched lazily, then went straight to the changing room. He took off his youthful, casual streamer outfit and took it off, then put on his usual work uniform. The director, seriously, always has something to say. Don't be too serious. Told me to dress casual. He muttered quietly, pouting. He always felt like the director had a personal agenda. Warner, make a report on monster activity in all countries and send it to me, right now. You found him. On it, I'll get started. Sewer answered quickly. He took a deep breath and jumped right into work mode. Walking toward his office, he called the intelligence department and requested the latest foreign reports. Soon, a thick stack of documents was delivered to your desk. Director, right now. It's been 15 days since the first round of the civilization trial started. 15 days have passed. Monsters keep showing up all over each country. Every nation has taken bold, decisive actions, using their armies to suppress and hunt monsters. Even so, there have still been huge casualties. Among them, the US published the highest casualty numbers, up to 42,034 people. Next is India, with 21,928 deaths and injuries. Third is Japan, with 3,749 casualties. At this part, Sewer paused and glanced at you. Our country has the lowest casualties. In this disaster, China reacted the fastest and acted the most decisively. So the results are very obvious. The bigger a country's population, the bigger the threat from monsters. China is the world's second most populous country, but has the lowest casualties worldwide. Achieving this result, you truly made a huge contribution. Things are still pretty serious. But you frowned, still not relaxing for a moment. These numbers are close to your past life's memory. The global monster crisis is already brewing and about to explode everywhere. China's the same. Oh, and just yesterday, the US Defense Department leader, James, was found to be a monster in disguise. Sewer paused, then added. The US launched a full sweep with its best troops, but James still got away. He couldn't quite get it. The US has always had the strongest military on Earth, yet they couldn't wipe out James. Second stage, you look surprised and calmly say, if nothing unexpected happened, this 001 undying has already reached stage 2. That's how he escaped the US military siege. You're not surprised by this. In your past life, this monster hid in the US Department of Defense and wasn't exposed for 2 more months. That ticking time bomb caused fatal damage to the US, destroying more than half of their elite troops. They were seriously weakened. But this time, maybe because of your butterfly effect, James exposed as a stage 2 much earlier. Stage 2, Sewer's eyes widened. All this time, he only knew monsters got stronger by eating people. But for stage 2 undying, he didn't have a clear idea. Stage 2 undying can break out even facing America's best army and still survive and escape. Stage 2 are even scarier than that. You shook your head, looking very serious. Then asked, what about how many monsters other countries have killed? Sewer was stunned a moment, then checked the report in her hands, and continued. According to official reports, the US killed 42 undying 001s in total. Japan killed 29 undying. Our country killed 49 undying. Another half a month left. You put your hands behind your back and stared out the window. The first round of the civilization trial is almost over. Looking at monster kill stats, China's still number 1. The demon hunting squad now has 10 permanent bases across the country. If there's any sign of monsters, they show up right away to suppress and kill, making sure everyone's safe. They're super efficient at killing monsters. Half a month left. You stand with your hands behind your back, staring out the window. The first round of the civilization trial is almost done. As a reborn, only you know, after every round ends, that mysterious voice will rate every civilization's performance. The higher the ranking, the more amazing the rewards. Right, the civilization trial is like a level-up game. Whole races can die out. But if you pass, you get all kinds of magical rewards. In your last life, China finished the first round and got the same reward as the US. Just the A-rank prize. Everyone's constitution improved by 10%. But against monsters, it still wasn't nearly enough. With this second life, you have to aim for the top S-tier prize. Director, we did it. We really did it. Right then, an excited researcher burst into your office, face full of joy. Totally forgot to knock. But you didn't care. You just sprang to your feet, face lighting up, and nervously asked, "Are you talking about the brainwave technology?" The researcher nodded excitedly. Yes, it's the brainwave tech. Just like you ordered, Director. We researched the undying's horns, day and night without rest, and found a strange pattern in their brainwaves. Awesome. You grinned, and couldn't help clapping in delight. Your frown finally relaxed after all this time. It's been half a month. The 001 undying from the demon hunting squad were all sent right to the lab, and finally, a breakthrough came. It's time to start the sci-fi Heavenly Court project. You took a deep breath, and said quietly, China's cabinet. Several elders sit around handling government affairs. Finally, things are stabilizing and moving in a good direction. But those little countries just can't follow through. Even if they copy China's methods, still can't keep the monsters under control. They'll be the first to fall into chaos. Definitely those small island nations. But then again, our country is so peaceful now. Director Lin truly deserves the credit. An elder suddenly spoke up. He sighed with emotion. As leaders, they all understood deep down. This disaster caught us off guard. If Li Lan hadn't stood firm against the opposition, backing you to start the Monster Research Institute, and forming the demon hunting team, China would probably be just like every other country now. Dragged into chaos by monsters, just trying to survive, and in total chaos. America is the best example. Even the strongest country in the world couldn't contain the monsters. Over 40,000 people died in just half a month. In comparison, China has suffered the least from monster attacks. Recently, the demon hunting team kept reporting big wins. They've killed a total of 49 undead so far. Another elder thought for a moment, then looked at Li Lan, and asked with concern, "There can't be many left in our borders, right? Shouldn't be more than a few left, right?" The elders exchanged glances, their faces relaxing, and finally smiling in relief. The Monster Code helped people understand monster habits and how to spot them, making it common knowledge among Chinese citizens. And you started a live stream channel, broadcasting 24/7, teaching everyone how to spot monsters around them. With all these measures together, the results were obvious. Everyone was really optimistic, thinking China had already made it through this crisis. I'm not sure how many monsters are left either. Li Lan gave a wry smile, shook her head, and said, "Let Director Lin explain it. Why don't you introduce it to everyone?" As he finished speaking, there was a knock at the door. After handling things at the institute, you walked in quickly. Director Lin and the elders greeted you with smiles, all looking at you with admiration. Then, curious, they asked, "According to your institute's model, how many undead are still in the country right now?" Since the trial of civilization started, every country has had an unknown number of undead appear. You'd already made some guesses before. In China's first trial, around 50-something undead showed up. With 49 already wiped out, there shouldn't be many left. But your answer froze the smiles on everyone's faces. Their eyes widened, all completely shocked. There are at least 70 left. Dean Lin, how many did you say? Li Lan was the first to snap out of it. She asked again. 70, you said calmly. Your tone was so calm, it made people shiver. But the other elders couldn't sit still. Their brows furrowed. They seriously asked Dean Lin. You said the sword demon only mentioned at most a little over 50. How come after killing 49, there are still 70 left? Everyone focused their attention on you. Simple math, under 100 should never equal 70. At the start, there really were only a bit more than 50 monsters in China. You let out a quiet sigh, then spoke softly. But the first round of civilization trials has been going for half a month now. Don't forget, monsters evolve by consuming humans. Based on the latest from our research institute, once a monster hits second tier, it gains infection ability. Hearing this, everyone looked stunned. Infection ability? You nodded. And explained that each second tier undead can infect one person a day, erasing their original mind, converting them into their own kind. As soon as you finished speaking, the whole meeting room went dead quiet. Everyone looked shocked and couldn't believe it. You handed your documents to Lilan and said just yesterday, the US had a second-tier monster appear. Even surrounded by their top army, it still escaped easily. Hundreds were killed or injured. Hearing this, those elders who'd been cheerful instantly turned grim. They were just too optimistic. In half a month, other monsters must have broken through to second tier. And second-tier monsters infecting people means their numbers won't stay fixed. If even one survives, eventually, humanity's civilization will be destroyed. Thinking of that, everyone gasped. Dean Lin, you came here today, so you must have a plan to deal with second-tier monsters, right? One elder looked deeply at Lin Mo and asked solemnly. Lilan and others all focused on you again. You adjusted your glasses and clearly said, Sci-Fi Heavenly Court. What? Everyone was stunned. You walked up to the front and laid out a grand plan that could change humanity's future. With the whole nation, build the legendary Supreme Heavenly Court. It'll have top-level defense systems and can detect any abnormal biological movement. Plus, its heavenly troop mechs and the cloud palace above. Most importantly, the day it's really finished will be when China ascends and everyone becomes dragons. Your voice echoed in the room. But unlike your excitement, everyone looked confused. Lilan was the first to speak. Dean Lin. Honestly, with China's current tech level, none of this is possible. Hearing that, you didn't get discouraged. Instead, you laughed. Maybe it wasn't possible before, but now, anything can happen. When you said that, Lilan and the others looked even more puzzled. But you didn't keep them guessing? And took out another SSS-level confidential file. Our institute did full research on the number 001 undead. In brainwave tech, we've already made a breakthrough. An elder picked up the file and looked carefully. The more he read, the more shocked he looked. He suddenly looked up and asked excitedly, THTH this. You can actually use brainwaves to remotely control life and death?